So do you love Tuscany or Italian culture? What if I told you this slice of Italian paradise is actually hidden right here in the golden hills of California wine country? Let me show you how Healdsburg is a hidden gem in the heart of California's wine country, a Tuscany-inspired Little Italy. So located just 10 to 15 minutes north of Santa Rosa, Healdsburg has quietly become a mecca for wine lovers, foodies, and anyone craving an authentic taste of La Dolce Vita. From the town plaza to the wineries of Sonoma County countryside, Healdsburg is a little pocket of Italy that some enjoy as a quick weekend getaway or as a day trip from the Bay Area. But few get to really experience the Italian-inspired way of life and call it home. I mean, I used to live in the Bay Area and first bought a place up here 8 years ago. I want to show you why we and dozens of our clients love living here. While many know the world-class Italian wine varietals grown in the same soil as they have in Tuscany, only some know about its farm-to-table cuisine bursting with ingredients fresh from the California earth and of course the rolling countryside. There's a few key neighborhoods I'd recommend if you want to enjoy California's slice of Italy. But before we talk about where to live in Healdsburg to maximize the Tuscany lifestyle, what's it actually like living here versus just visiting? Well, firstly, the pace of life. If you currently live in the Bay Area, living in Healdsburg will feel like life slowed right down. It truly does feel like running on Italian time. I always really notice the difference. Even if I just go to Marin for lunch or go to a coffee shop there, everyone just feels a bit more manic. I remember always thinking when I lived in London or in the Bay Area, how could you live somewhere that's just so sleepy? Trust me, it's very easy to quickly adapt to this leisurely rhythm, unlike the hustle and bustle of city living, or maybe it's just my age. I'm not quite sure we've gone all in on the art of dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing, but I definitely feel there are many leisurely Sunday afternoons spent outside enjoying pizza and drinking Italian wine at a winery. But what about the community and the culture? If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll have heard me talk about the strength of the community in Healdsburg versus somewhere like, for example, Sonoma. If you are interested in understanding more about the difference between the two iconic towns of Sonoma County, then you'll enjoy my video all about comparing Sonoma with Healdsburg. I'll put a link in the description below. You only need to go into a coffee shop or hang out on the plaza to experience Healdsburg's friendly, tight-knit community mirroring the warmth of Italian villages. It's easy to while away an hour sitting on the plaza with an ice cream or gelato from my favourite ice cream shop, Noble Folk Ice Cream. Healdsburg even has its own local events and festivals, much like Italian festivals that centre around music and cultural events. For example, the Healdsburg Jazz Festival is a significant draw, similar to music festivals in Italy that celebrate local and international artists. The festival brings together jazz musicians for a series of performances over the course of a week in June. Healdsburg's Wine and Food Festival, now actually in its third year, resembles Italian wine festivals where the focus is on pairing local wines with regional culinary delights. Participants enjoy the best of local vineyards and chefs, much like their equivalent in Italy. We don't have a Giro d'Italia, and to the best of my knowledge, the Tour de California has never actually been through Healdsburg, but we do have a wine country century ride organised by the Santa Rosa Cycling Club that spends over 50 miles cycling across the greater Healdsburg area. It's definitely a riding event not to be missed. It's easy to see the comparison with Italy as you cycle through the beautiful landscapes of Sonoma County, which echo the rolling hills and vineyards of Italy. And of course, we have our own farmers markets on Tuesdays and Saturdays and art walks echoing the markets in Italian villages where locals and visitors alike browse artisan products, fresh foods, as well as artworks. These gatherings are not only social events, but also celebrate the local craftsmanship and agricultural produce. So now let's talk about the food and wine scene. And let's start with food. It would be hard to ignore the love of food and fresh ingredients that make up such an important part of life both in Healdsburg and in Italy. Healdsburg's culinary scene definitely reflects its Italian influences, weaving together traditional Italian fare with the spirit of Sonoma County. The Journeyman Meat Company stands out with its Salumi Club, where They offer a range of meticulously crafted Italian-style cured meats, a nod to Italy's rich tradition of charcuterie. Multi Amici, a relatively new Italian restaurant in town, continues the legacy of its predecessor, which was Campofino, definitely a local favourite known for its authentic Italian dishes. By stepping into the space left by Campofino, Multi Amici carries forward the tradition of serving Italian cuisine, but it's in a slightly more refined manner. A fresh coat of paint has definitely lifted the atmosphere to make it a brighter, lighter dining experience, still loved by locals and visitors alike. I mean, I can safely say this in the knowledge that a really good friend of mine who is Italian is currently doing a major remodel on his home, so he has no kitchen. He's definitely adopted Multi Amici as his kitchen for the time being. He assures me the food truly is authentically Italian. It's hard to ignore Bacci, an old school family-run restaurant encapsulating the family and communal essence of Italian restaurants. I mean, Bacci is one of those Italian restaurants that literally has every single Italian pasta dish you could ever think of on its menu. It's not particularly sophisticated, but it is the perfect family Italian comfort food. I mean, it's always full, so there's definitely a lot of people who agree. So now let's talk about wine. Two Healdsburg wineries, Davvero Farms and Portalupi Wine, are definitely examples of the deep-rooted Italian influence in the region's viticulture. Healdsburg's wine history is richly tied to its Italian immigrant founders who brought with them not only their vines, but also their age-old winemaking traditions. I mean, these early pioneers were instrumental in establishing the wine culture that thrives in Healdsburg today, blending old-world techniques with new-world unique terroir. Davvero focuses on Italian varietals, adhering closely to the Italian principle of growing grapes that are suited to the land's inherent characteristics. Their approach is reminiscent of Italian practices, emphasizing biodynamic farming to produce wines like Sangiovese and Barbera, varietals that are quintessentially very Italian but express distinct Sonoma County traits. Portalupi, on the other hand, crafts wines that encapsulate both the spirit of Italian winemaking and the bold flavours of California. They're definitely known for Barbera and Pinot Noir, showcasing a fusion of Italian varietal heritage with the robust, fruit-forward characteristics often seen in California wines. So now let's talk about the proximity to nature and the beauty of the landscape. The landscape surrounding Healdsburg and the broader Sonoma County area beautifully mirrors the scenery of Italy's famed vineyard-covered hills, with a significant similarity being the oak trees and the olive trees that you often see lining the vineyards. This integration of olive trees and vineyards is a practice reminiscent of Italian agricultural traditions, providing not only a source of olives for local olive oil production, but also contributing to the biodiversity that benefits the vineyards. Like many places in Italy, Healdsburg even has its own community press, so if you've got a few olive trees like I have, then you can grow your olives, pick your olives, and then take them to the community press and get your virgin olive oil in return. I mean, it's really cool being able to create your own extra virgin olive oil. Like the iconic regions of Tuscany and Piedmont in Italy, Sonoma County enjoys a Mediterranean climate, which is characterized by warm, dry summers and cool, wet winters. Average summer temperatures hover around 80 degrees, with cool evenings that drop to about 50 degrees, providing an ideal climate for grapevines to thrive. The combination of scenic rolling hills interspersed with rows of vines and olive trees and a favourable climate makes the Healdsburg area not only a visual twin to the Italian countryside, but also a parallel in viticultural experience as well. Let me know in the comments below what you love about Italy most that you'd want if you could live there. So while visiting Healdsburg is a great escape, living here is like being transported to Italy every single day. The Tuscan-inspired beauty, slow pace of life and vibrant community become your new normal, a constant invitation to embrace la dolce vita. But where should you live in Healdsburg if you want to soak up the Italian atmosphere daily? I've got personal experience of both rural and city living, having had 2 homes in rural Healdsburg and 1 in downtown, and helping over 50 families buy and move here. You have 3 main options when living in Healdsburg: rural, resort-style living, and downtown. So first, rural. If you are looking to move here from the city, you might be drawn to living a more rural life, being surrounded by vineyards. You'll definitely be able to get more privacy and more space, and even the opportunity to set up your own hobby vineyard. These types of homes aren't cheap though. You could expect to pay upwards of $2 million. While it sounds perfect, some people just want a lock up and leave and don't want to have to worry about maintaining a large property. If you do live more rural, it means you just need to be more organized, because you don't want to be making a half-hour round trip just to get some milk. The great thing though is that you'll have more privacy and space, which, to be honest, it's hard to beat. So now let's talk about resort living. Up until recently, this just wasn't an option for anyone considering Healdsburg. However, over the past couple of years, Healdsburg has attracted investment from 3 different developers building luxury homes in Healdsburg, giving you all the benefits of resort living with amenities right on your doorstep. The 3 developments are Mill District, Montage, and then there's Envo, which is more like a retirement community. The downside is that these are all condos, so you don't have much of your own outdoor space, and you will pay a large monthly OE fee on top of the multi-million-dollar purchase price. The upside is that they truly are lock up and leave. And then the final option is living downtown. I'd say most people dream of living a 10-minute walk to the plaza. I mean, the pros are obvious in that you're walking distance to shops, restaurants, bars, and tasting rooms. If you are moving to Healdsburg, then living right in downtown makes it really easy to meet people, as well as attend the numerous community events that take place in the plaza. Those benefits come at a price though, because houses right in the middle of downtown area probably cost 25 to 30% more than the equivalent house outside of the downtown area. For some people, the size of the lots and the urban densities is just too much. On top of that, Healdsburg historic residential area is quite eclectic, with multifamily 70s housing situated adjacent to $3–4 million Victorian home. So let me know in the comments below which one of these 3 you would choose or like most. I've lived in downtown, and then at the end of last year, I moved to a more rural property overlooking vineyards, just a 5-minute drive from downtown. I mean, I recorded a separate video all about the pros and cons, which I'll link to in the description below. And there's definitely no right and wrong. I mean, I could definitely not live 20 to 30 minutes from downtown, because I do like to come into town. In many ways, I'm trying to get the best of both worlds with a rural feel, but it's still very easy for me to get into the downtown area. You can also watch the full breakdown of rural versus resort versus downtown living on my channel, and I'll link to that at the end. But if you want to download my quick comparison guide where I break these down in detail, then check out the link in the description below. It's a free comparison sheet you can keep, so download yours now in the description. You can unlock the key to California wine country in these neighborhoods. Dry Creek Valley and Alexander Valleys, which are rural areas known for Zinfandel and Cabernet Sauvignon vineyards. You got Russian River Valley, which is cooler climate suited more to Pinot and Chardonnay grapes. And then you got places like Fitch Mountain, which is a scenic hillside homes and cabins with views of the Russian River. And then you got the Healdsburg downtown area around the plaza, which are the historic homes and condos surrounding the downtown plaza. So if you made it to this point in the video, there's a good chance that you're thinking about buying your next home, investing in the area, buying a second home, or even selling your current one. We'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Just email me at david@brewingtonhargreaves.com to get started. So our team is actually the #1 team in Sonoma County, helping over 70 families last year with nearly $80 million worth of transactions. So whether you're wanting a second home, a vacation rental, or if you just need to get inside access to new homes coming in the market, new updates, the state of the real estate market, then please do get in touch. And hey, before you go, if you like this video, you'll love my video about living in rural versus resort living versus downtown living. There I'll break down the 3 key areas, what it's like living there, and way more. So be sure to check it out. See you in the next video.